Core TV News, expanding your view.
Welcome back. It's Core TV News and the program is Core Digest, and we still have in the studio our guest, Victor Okai, a public affairs analyst, and Kenneth Olise. I should thank you for being patient with us and staying on in the studio with us. We're still discussing foreign intervention beyond the abducted schoolgirls. Recently, President Goodluck Jonathan welcomed foreign intervention to help rescue these schoolgirls and, as a matter of fact, end insurgency completely in Nigeria. And we've been looking at several issues as it relates to this. Brownson?
Yes, and before we came on there, I said that there have been a lot of angle to looking at the insurgency now as a whole, not just looking about the abducted schoolgirls. Now, there have been reports from some quarters, there's a report from WikiLeaks that the whole thing might just be, might have some international affiliation. That's talking about the Boko Haram having some sponsors that has interest in Nigeria's treasure. And then this could be to help them break Nigeria, maybe not into pieces, but to break our power as one of the strongest nations, or the strongest nation in Africa. Now, let me put this to our guest. Let me start with you, Mr. Kenneth Olise. Now, for every allegation, you may just see there might just be some atoms of truth. Just recently, Nigeria was declared the strongest economy in Africa. And then this, of course, you know the implications. A lot of countries want to invest in Africa. And then some of these so-called big nations feel they can't really break Nigeria into pieces if you want to come to us direct. And there have to be some kind of ways to, you know, hurt us, coming as one of the nations that want to provide help to us, and then get what you want. Now, looking at all these reports and all these allegations, do you want to say there's an atom of truth in all of this?
I don't. If you look at imperialism, you know, you begin to say, how do other nations, you know, get involved in other nations? Is it through this? Is it through this kind of arrangement? It may not be. I think that if we say somebody wants to take advantage of it, no problem. But even in 1899, when they started the scramble in Bonn, in Germany, when they started the scramble and petition of Africa, they didn't need this kind of this to start it. But if somebody is trying to maybe benefit from this crisis, fine. But I know that there are some comments relating to that that were alleged made some. Gaddafi was alleged to have made such comment. You know, when he said that, look, Nigeria should divide along a religious line. There's this allegation again too that America said they are predicting that by 2015 Nigeria may not be one. Now, the truth is as a regional, as sub-regional power, say as a sub-regional power of Africa, you are definitely going to attract envy of even your sub-regional members and outside. So if and it's now left for you now to protect your treasure in any way you can. But this particular incident, I'm thinking that any action taken on this is going to be a derivative, not a casual action. Not that somebody said, okay, let's attack, let's sponsor them.
But are you not also seeing it that some of these countries, we have the likes of China coming in. We understand China, somehow they've really gotten into Nigeria's markets, looking at some of the products they brought in and some of their investments.
Yes.
France have also agreed to come into the country, and as well as the United States of America, and which other country, the United Kingdom. Now, don't you think somehow they have something to take back home?
I will readily tell you that one of the requirements you need to enter into a country is security and peace. You understand? That's one of the requirements you need to trade. Another important requirement is the population. Do they have the population? So if you look at a strategy of entry by fragmenting them, you understand? Except you're going to sell implements of war. But if you are really going to do economy, you will business as it is, you will need a conducive business environment. You need a large market, okay? And not only that, you may probably need a market, that is robust. I was on one station later, they were talking about this GM Motors and others coming. If GM Motors is going to come to Nigeria, I don't think any of the officials will ever dare to visit Mushi because they cannot buy their product. You understand? If somebody, other people selling baby wears, they want to go to areas where they know they're making babies. They don't have business to do with VI. You know, things like that. So what investors look for, you understand, is that a population or environment that is compatible with the type of business they are doing. China is doing well in Nigeria, and they're going to do well in Nigeria and perhaps Africa because they have low income products they sell. I pass my neighbor this recycle, little things that they know you can buy with. That's why they're doing well. You may not be able to do, America may not be able to contest with them because their products are high, their value end. And two, America has problem of security. You know, anywhere they go, they want to be sure there's security. Chinese people are there in Ondo, cutting wood, sleeping with locals, eating granite and banana. They don't have anything to fear. There was allegation that there was this thing that some people Indians were kidnapped in Nigeria Delta. When they said you are in there, I said, my friend, come. We're even worse than us. They removed them. So they don't have that fear. But the American person coming here is going to put antenna, is going to be sure that it's safe. By the time you put all those costs, you may find this place very hostile. So I do not think in the immediate any of these serious countries will want to be behind this. If they may want to benefit from it, but they may not be behind it. And as a follow-up to that, we were talking before we close up, that they are coming in. If they are coming in to help Nigeria, remember too, they are coming in with their enemies. Because some of these countries are not happy with some of the countries. You understand? France was attacked. Some French nationals were adopted in Nigeria, in Kano recently, because they felt that France supported people that went to dislodge insurgents in Mali. You understand? Kenya is an attack because Kenya, Uganda were among the contingent that went to dislodge the insurgents in Sudan, in Afghanistan. Do you understand? So therefore countries are sometimes reluctant to participate because they know of the effect that will come to it. Again, even if they are coming, you're going to ask yourself, the places they have been to, what has come out of it? In Pakistan, we're still having high scale of insurgents. They're still having it in other Afghanistan or other places they have gone to. It has not gone. One hard fact, one very difficult thing to say, which we may have to say and accept, that terrorism has come to stay in Nigeria. Unfortunately.
And what President Goodluck Jonathan said as it concerns they are coming in.
No, it has come to say that one of the security challenges we have to contend with, immediately after Civil War, for those who are following crime, immediately after Civil War, that's when armed robbery came. Yeah, the next thing that said that executing armed robbers. Today, we now see armed robbers, okay, one of them, or for someone that's okay, please, even if you want to, don't kill people. So some of the things one of the chief of army staff said it. I can't remember which chief of defense staff said it. I can't remember. This thing has come to be. It's one of the. We are overwhelmed because we didn't know it's possible. We don't know it. You understand? So our initial reaction and initial apprehension, we understand them. But just like I told you about my experience in Kenya. When they bought Pangani police station in Kenya, I was there last week. The Kenyans were not reacting. I said, we have seen something. You understand?
Extraordinary.
You understand? That's to say they have come to say, okay, yes, okay.
Do you want to agree with that, Mr. Victor?
What aspect now? The issue of being
Has it come to stay? Do you think we can completely take it off?
Well, it depends. And I'll tell you why. Let me just take us back a bit. Meitetsin at the point in time was something really, it was a terrible phenomenon in this country. It came and it passed.
What do you call it?
Meitetsin. Yes, in the north, in Kano and so. And then the Niger Delta crisis. Of course, there are spin-offs, kidnappings and all of that. There is an arrowhead to this whole saga. There is an organization, but Al-Qaeda, for instance, as you know it today, is no longer the way it used to be. Of course, there will be other sub-organizations, because some people, after the disbanding, will go on and do other things. if the North and the Northern leaders come together after maybe they've been crushed, assuming initially, if they can come together and say never again, I think there'll be an end to it. I do not think that we will necessarily live with this kind of terrorism for the rest of our days and for the days of our children to come. If indeed there are political undercurrents to this, I think it will also come to an end. You know, but we'll just have to wait and see. I mean, it's okay to make the prediction, but I'm not so sure it's sustainable in this part without locals feeling it. If the locals starve it, it will not last.
Yeah, some of messages coming in from our Twitter and Twitter handle and Facebook page. We have this one from Bukola Wemimo, and she says, some newspapers report that the abducted girls will be held as hostage in exchange for the Boko Haram members already in the police net. According to reports too, the Northern elders are opposed to the use of force, and they say that is either we should pay ransom or we should swap. So, you know, the girls for... What's your take on what Bukola is saying?
Okay, until you read the second part, I was going to tell you that these were suggestions by Northern leaders. There will be collateral damage, no doubt. It's not good. I mean, if you go with force, there's no way you can... They will give up so easily. They might even push the girls ahead. So if you're shooting, it's like even normal kidnappers or people who hold people captive. When you come, they use people as protection for themselves. However, the idea now of trading off, you know, these girls for Boko Haram leaders, or the issue of ransom. Ransom may not work openly because it's against our anti-terrorism law right now. So if that is done, it is illegal. However, it is done. But either way, you're fueling them and you're making them more, you're giving them even more credibility. I agree we should find a political solution to this, a negotiated, you know, solution. But it depends on what has happened to these girls. If you're going to be releasing prisoners because of these girls, it sounds like a good idea. What does that mean? If we want to free, every time we do what we do, if you capture our guys, we capture more girls. And then there's no end to it. So it becomes, you know, so we need to find a more pragmatic solution.
Than that.
Okay, let's take this other tweet. This one is coming from Femi Sholu. This one says, Nigeria is an insurance nation. We leave a wound to foster for political reasons. Now the little wound has eaten deep into the nation and the legs has to be amputated. A very, I think that is a kind of philosophical one.
Yeah, it's true. This manifests when people show some partial indifference when things happen. The Second World War started when Germany went to attack Poland. And they said, oh, don't mind that, it's Germany and Poland. Before Germany went to France, oh, it was seen as maybe European war and all that. Before you know, the whole world is consumed. When this thing started, if we had seen this as a proper national disaster, you know, it would have been nipped at the bud. I think that's what I'm trying to say. The world, Nigerians, the world, and other parts of the world, Nigeria, should cease to see this thing as happening in Borno State.
Yes.
Injury to one should be injury to all. Until we see this as a national disaster, that's what I'm trying to say, as a national disaster. It's not enough for us to go to church and say, it's not my portion in Jesus' name. You understand? If we have this kind of indifference, passive indifference, then this is exactly what is talking about. When things happen, I want to give you an example. When in Niger Delta, when they started it, it was Urobos are fighting Shakiri. Shakiris are fighting the Jaws. This is how it started. Until they started after they started taking the whites. They started taking they get embodied another until it became problem. So I want us to see if we can define what is happening now as a national emergency. Deploy all it takes. If like take a hammer, you know, to try to kill this fly. Otherwise, it's going to look at a bridge has been bombed. I was not talking about Gambor and Gala when I mentioned it before. A bridge has been bombed. This is once they start, you never can know where it because they get to perfect it, they begin to understand it, they go and experiment in other places. So let us not sit in this our comfort way and say, look, Nadan Sabi.
At God's Will, Oki says the sponsors of Boko Haram are politicians whose identity, according to Femi Fani Kayode, are well known. Why has the government refused to mention names? Is it a lack of political will? Do you think the government really knows the sponsors of Boko Haram?
I honestly don't envy the present government. They are between the devil and the deep blue sea. I'll give you a small example. Even if you know that a certain person, I mean, unless you have real concrete proof that you can show the whole world beyond just suspicions and just ordinary knowledge that they are behind it, if they are very, very influential, if you grab them, there will be collateral damage. They will whip up, as they always do, religious sentiments, tribal sentiments, and the number of people that will die will be more. Recall that when Nyako spoke recently, although there was widespread condemnation, but he spoke, and the speech he made, the BBC carried it, of course in Hausa language, which means the ordinary Hausa man will hear it. It was widely reported. And I listened to some Hausa people reacting, common folks and all that, who maybe may have had, although they're very politically aware, but some of them say, yes, what he's saying is true and all that and all that. You go and grab a man like that, they will do anything. So there's a delicate balancing act. You look at it and say, okay, I can grab him now and deal with him, but you're dealing with one individual. But the repercussion could be greater. So every point in time, you're weighing such decisions. But you're hoping also that they will score an own goal. What do I mean by that? That they will get to a point where they will so obviously give themselves up for whom they are and what they are. And when you go in at that point, then the whole world will stand behind you. That's, yeah.
We have more tweets?
Okay, yes, but quickly, I want to quickly read this comment by Lagos State lawyer Femi Falana. He declares the president's wife panel illegal. According to him, the Supreme Court had held in its judgment, that judgment was on 2003 against Fayemi versus Babangida in Nigerian Weekly Law Reports, part 808, and of course page 604, that the power of the president to set up a commission of inquiry is limited to the Federal Capital Territory. Now, don't forget that the president's wife set up a panel of investigation to look at the missing girls, but he's saying it's illegal. Now, we are saying all Nigerians should be concerned. At this point, should we say we should keep the law aside and, of course, look at the current issue of the nation?
No, you cannot keep the law aside. We are guided by the law. Lord, no law. I don't believe in panel of. Well, somebody's daughter is done. We're talking about life. Somebody's daughter is done. Panel, they were drinking tea. We are not. I don't think whether it's law or no law. I don't think it's a strategy we're talking about now. I'm not comfortable with the panel, but
again,
it must run the country. It must run the country legally.
She should show she's concerned.
But
she's the mother of the nation.
Within the ambits of law, if it is illegal, it's illegal.
She's the wife of the president here.
Look at what they read. I'm not a lawyer. Look at what they said. I say whatever you want to do must be within the ambit.
I'm also a confused. Was it the president that said his power should be limited to Federal Capital Territory or the wife? I'm not sure about what you read there. The president or the wife?
The Federal Capital Territory. Now, it
for
says...
For whom? Whose powers are limited there to set up a panel?
Now, let me take it all about it. It said the Supreme Court had held in its judgment in Fayemi versus Babangida in 2003, Nigerian Weekly Law Reports, part 808, section 604, that inquiry is limited to the Federal Capital Territory. Now, it has to do with the government.
Okay. Okay. So that, in proper federation.
Exactly.
That states, can are to do a set of inquiry present to state.
Yes.
All right. That's what I'm saying. It's neither here nor there. That, yes, whether they have the right or not, inquiry does not have horse now. somebody's daughter cannot be found. I don't know what he said. I don't know how to say it. Somebody's daughter, somebody's sister, somebody's potential mother, you understand, cannot be found. It's not a time for inquiry. I thought that we should go there and see how we can rescue them. One American lady, one American girl was kidnapped and taken to one island. America had to deploy about 5 gunship helicopter to go and rescue the girl and shot the man dead and brought back the girl. This is what I'm talking about. Let us put everything that makes us Nigeria to rescue one Nigeria. Let us take whatever, including knockout, including catapult, to go and get those girls. When we come after them, we can now start inquiring. You understand? Because a day could be too late. So legality, no legality, whoever did it, it's not imperative.
But there have to be investigation that will lead to
But it's at the timing. Emotions are high, tension is high. It will look like a fairy tale because maybe one is not, maybe there's no blood relationship. You wake up, you can't find the girl, and somebody is telling you about inquiry. It's okay, but maybe if the girl had, if they rescue the girls, maybe they can do inquiry. I mean, to make money. That's the point I'm making. It's on the emotional side of it anyway. But whatever you want to do to be, in line with what I'm talking about, must be within the law. You can't go outside the law to be able to do, because your emotions cannot override the legality of your action.
Let me hold you there. When 20 girls got missing, a lot of people said the president's wife was silent about it. And then several killings. Some people said the president should have traveled to Borno State, Adamawa State, and the likes to visit the scene. And I think 5 days after the over 200 girls got missing, a lot of people still came out to say the president's wife was quiet about it. And now she's making concern. People feel she's not doing too much. Mr. Victor, what's your take on that?
I'm saying, why should she cry?
Why should she cry on national TV?
Unfortunately, you can never please the world. One thing I find is that this president can never do right in the eyes and estimation of some people. No matter what he does, it will never be right. However he turns, if the wife is quiet, she's insensitive. If she cries, she's hypocritical. So I don't even want to dwell too much on that. The truth is, there's nothing they do that will please certain people who have made up their minds about them. There's nothing they're ever going to do that will please anybody that falls into that category. So it's not something to even talk about too much. It's clear. It's like the issue of Maulag or no Maulag. Name a place after institutions after Abiola and all that. In good faith, he named Unilag, and then the next one was, no, it should be National Stadium. And not a problem. So I'm not saying the president should give up trying, but he should know that he cannot, there are sections he should not please. The only thing to do is let him be guided by his conscience to do whatever he thinks is right. I would have liked to address the earlier issue. What was it again now that he talked about just before?
Okay, the Femi Falana's statement?
Yes, it's the issue of inquiry. Truth is, whether legal or not, and let me throw this now at the fourth estate of the realm. What happened to investigative journalism? This is a time when the fourth estate of the realm should stand up and be counted. When reporters can go into that place and do investigative reporting, find out about the veracity of, these are individual inquiries. The point I'm trying to make here is, it doesn't even need the government to do inquiries. And it is only through inquiries you can, or through investigation of whatever form, whether you constitute a body or not. I guess the reason for that is, about that inquiry is, will such a body so constituted be able to say anything that will have any legal teeth? Can you act on it? That's the only reason why you have that. But it's not as if you cannot make inquiries. If you call people on ground and ask them questions, it's inquiry. Okay? I think we should begin to ask questions. Well, some questions have been asked already. I think everybody should ask questions. When we say, where are the girls? We're making inquiries. But more importantly, I want to challenge the fourth estate of the realm. Let people go out there. Let stations deploy men and resources to go there. Let communities, let people who are talking from their comfort zones here in Lagos and Abuja, making all the noise, put their money where their mouth is. Go out there, even if you have to sponsor people to make investigation, to find out what is happening. If you're truly concerned, if you're looking at how comfortable you are and all that, and you're condemning somebody for setting up an inquiry, because what happens in an inquiry is people now know who they can talk to. If you know something, whether anonymously or, by whatever means, you can come and say, look, this is information that I have. It may lead somewhere, it may not lead anywhere, but by the time you aggregate everything, you would be wiser than when you started. That's my take on that.
America forged the account of every individual and nation associated with Al-Qaeda. Even recently in the Ukraine crisis, account of key Russian politicians were frozen. Why has the account of Boko Haram members not been frozen? That's of their sponsors too. That's coming from, I think, Godswill Oki.
Do you know Boko Haram?
Do you know that?
Is there an account called Boko Haram? Or Ibrahim Shekau account?
That is very important, because what you will begin to ask, what happened to BCCI in those days? If you can link, you understand, if you can link the so-called gospel, if you can get them, it doesn't necessarily, like he was saying, you get them and you know that, okay, these people seem to be doing this. You can get the account, quietly frozen the account. Even the bank, from where the account is going, you shut down. This is time to take one decisive action. Last time I was telling you about border closure. When there was this criminal was coming from the Republic of Benin, Shina Rambo. Yes, when we were terrorizing Nigeria, President Matadia one that shut down a border with the Republic of Benin. The president came and said, no, go and get me the thief, then we can talk. Shina Rambo was brought to Nigeria and the thing stopped. So I'm trying to say, let us do things that can show that, we have tried.
Yes.
All these conferences, seminar, what do you call this one? Inquiries and all that. I want us to see something that is so. It is wrong, but it's that the man did it because he was angry. Shut down border with Cameroon. They begin to deny. He said, look, I have 2 of your boys here. Get me orders. When you do take this kind of extraordinary measures, people will begin to see that you are serious. Governors that are, look, I had to keep you here to leave your job, and you are here, this is happening. I am going to remove you, and I put proper steps of inquiry. When you put that, people made a back and forth it in this instance, so that people act, either because of what they gain or because of what they fear. Now, when you fear that you are going to lose your job, people talk. Police started it by close, so that by giving ransom, giving what's it called, anybody who gives information about this, you understand? These are things we want to see. These are things that can actually give out. How did America get they gave a reward. I understand that one of his heads had to give up because of money. How did they get Jesus Christ? Because they gave him money, and this man had to go and kiss him.
But again, can that strategy work?
It can work. That is when I can tell you I don't mind about Ohai. That is why I can tell you that Ohai is a sponsor. You understand? That's why I can tell I can do.
No, let this not be taken in isolation. Ohai is not the sponsor.
You understand? That is, you understand? Ohai say, look, working it very well. Look. You understand? So put something so that people act for what they can gain or what they can fear. I'm going to deal with you. Traditional last year, these are your boys. I don't get them, I'm going to deal with you. P2P is in Anambra State. If you do not get me this kidnappers, you are going to lose your title. They started coming out. If I see any kidnapper in your house, I demolish the place before we go to court. This thing started happening. So these are measures I'm taking that I want us to take. You understand? Before we begin to look at the rationality, the legality, and otherwise, in the temperature and temperament of the commission of the country now. That's the point I'm making.
Now, what you've said has really brought me to this. Now, in the north, I've noticed that traditional rulers are not really saying anything.
Everyone's afraid. They're in the war front.
True. There was an attempt, 2 attempts, in the life of the Emir of Kano.
Yes.
You know about the traditional ruler that was murdered, that was killed in Borno, in Maiduguri area. So the thing is, honestly, even the wars have ears there.
Yes.
And that's why they're all scared. There are those who can talk boldly, and they're talking. But they're not, so those who have spoken against and attempted to damn the consequences have paid dearly. There are some who can actually speak, but are not speaking, for whatever reason.
Now, does it mean that they know who these guys are?
There's no way. There is no way.
I don't think they're ignorant.
There's no completely. Okay, that is a better polite way to say it.
I don't think they're completely ignorant.
There is no way. They will not know who are behind this. We are talking. It must not necessarily be that you can come to television and radio to say it. Take the information, it can be secretly channeled to those who should use it. I can't tell me that. As somebody said, look, that at the time America has even given the list of suspected this to the government. So what if the government is not using the? It's not like when they take that to court. There are things you do. You begin to cripple them, and they will begin to stop. There is nobody can tell me that from if you know the terrain, before you can move from Meduguri to Gamborungala, it's about 3 hours, and people are driving. They have cars are driving. The cars have number. They have description and all that. Let me go back from the beginning. The guys that were adopted, nobody was rescued. All the people that saw escaped. Not rescued by any action. The those who rescued gave some information. The language they were speaking, the things they were saying. These are the things we can piece up to know who are who. They have some people in custody. Those people in custody, they are speaking. They are making so it's not, nobody can say that, oh, we're totally ignorant of people to suspect. Call it suspect. You understand? So to film that, oh, these people are not coming from the blues, it's not true.
Let me take this tweet. Aisha Babangida, the Northern elders are very, maybe I shouldn't say this on air, very wicked people, so are the leaders of Nigeria in general. It is time to declare your stand openly and boldly. Are you for Boko Haram or against it? There's another one from Abdulaziz Adedimo. I remember Muslims in Osun, Oyo, and even Lagos states clamoring for Sharia rule some years back. Is this Boko Haram Sharia, the one we should all adopt? Boko Haram is doing great harm to Islam. Muslims should rise up and say no to terrorism under the guise of religion.
It cannot be better put. It cannot be better put. You understand? This is not Islam. This is criminality.
Sure.
This is terrorism. This is barbarism. This is wickedness. You understand? It's bare act of murder. There's no religion that teaches this. No.
Now, sir, quickly, let's look at the involvement of the international community. I think Nigerians are beginning to have a sigh of relief that very soon, just maybe, we might have the desired peace that we all deserve. But do you really see anything coming out of this? Let me stick with you, Mr. Victor. Do you see anything coming out of this partnership?
I do. For one, there will be shared intelligence. 2, there will be technology. And, in terms of surveillance, and not necessarily boots on the ground, like I said earlier on, but areas where we're lacking, hopefully they'll be able to help us, make catch up. But my fear is, at this stage, and with the time that has elapsed, I'm afraid, I don't want to say this, but honestly, deep down in my heart, I have a fear that we may not be able to assemble all the girls together. I don't know how they'll be able to get them. If they've been scattered already, how do you begin to get them? If they're holding them as human, human shield, how do you rescue them without collateral damage? The situation is already bad. What we can hope to do now is begin to see how we can remedy what has a bad situation. I doubt that we can get all the girls together, either alive or to be able to come back. Some may never be able to find their way back, So what I just think we should do is, as a nation, bury all our political differences and see how we can not just tame but crush this monster called Boko Haram. At the end of the day, it may cost us some of the girls. Unfortunately, I'm afraid, I don't want to say this, but we cannot shy away from the truth. And stop counting whether, some have gone, they didn't get the number complete and all that. Let's face the enemy and destroy the enemy. Cut the snake in the head. The body may shake afterwards, but let it die off. And then we hope that such a thing does not occur again.
So in conclusion, Mr. Olisa, what do you have to say as it has to do with foreign intervention in rescuing us from the Boko Haram menace?
The circle is that they are not going, as I said they are not coming with, they're not going to come with their boot and coming to fight for you. The problem is that the same Nigerian problem we've been having. They may get all this information, give all this into the people in government, and instead of working on it, they're now beginning to set up a committee and panel. So do we have the political will at the twilight of politics, election and other, to take certain decisive action? That is my worry. Is they can come, they can get intelligence, they can, when the people say, oh, don't worry, they're foreigners, they don't understand. It's not true. So that person will just begin to dilute their report. Otherwise, if they come, they're likely to give, say it the way it is, but they may not have anything much to lose. They don't know who is Yoruba, Hausa, or Igbo, Mother, and all that. They may just say things and look, this is what we see. But do we have the political leadership on ground, to see that there's a problem? Then the second aspect of it is what I've said, I'm saying at the risk of repeating myself. For Nigeria, for once, to declare this as a state of national emergency, you understand, and begin to treat it as such. Now, like I said, it's very unfortunate. My wish is to have all these girls back intact. Even if we miss one, it's not good. But you see, why they're having 200 girls, and that 3 have been killed, bridge is bombed. Tomorrow, now, pigs gathered, and 1 pig was killed. And I said, look, if the one after one killed, the center becomes becomes the after one. So if these people are killed, the next person, probability of the next person to be killed could be connected to say. That is why we should be very, very, very concerned about this. Assuming without considering that those people are gone, what is going to happen to us that are living if we continue with this kind of Nadan Sabi? You understand what I'm saying? So let us take this in as a national to save the life of at least those of us who are living. We should be seen to be doing certain things, that the situation demands. That's the point I'm saying.
Okay, yeah, you wanted to add something quickly.
I just want to say something. For our political leaders, I want them to know that if this country is destroyed today, they will have nobody to rule.
True.
If they want power, first there must be peace. If there is peace, then they can have people. Then they will have people that they can rule. Let them have this at the back of their mind, and no matter what they do, when they play the politics, good, dirty, or whatever, they must not throw away the baby with the bathwater.
Absolutely. I think if Nigeria is destroyed, there will be no one to rule, and I think that should be our take-home word for today's gift.
Yes, of course. Brick walls are there for a reason. It lets us, it's a proof of how badly we want something. So this brick wall, let's try and break through. And of course, it's going to be victory for us at the end.
Absolutely, victory for us. Thank you very much, Mr. Kenneth Olise, a chartered accountant as well as economist. Thank you very much for honoring our invitation, as well as Mr. Victor Okai, a public affairs analyst. We hope that sometimes when we call you again, you oblige a call.
Not a problem.
All right, that's our program for today. That's Core Digest. And of course, we hope to be back again with the weekend edition tomorrow, 2 hours, and 3 hours tomorrow. It's going to be a longer period from 9 to 12 o'clock. And for all Nigerians and from all of us in Core TV, we need our girls back gifts.
Of course, we need our girls back. Bring back our girls. It's everywhere. In fact, as I'm leaving here, I'm going to put it on my DP.
Absolutely.
Bring back our girls. We really do need them back.
Absolutely. My name is Brownson Wana.
And I am Gift Ogete.
Have a wonderful day.
Have a wonderful day.
I don't think the election was actually... What are the people saying? 5 local government out of the 30 local government is more than many states in the north. The economy is booming. Where is the economy booming? Bomb blast in Abuja. Don't you have security? Why are we fighting? The presidency should not just sit in Abuja or in Asokoro or wherever he lives. The are sponsoring the Boko Haram. They know them. Men cannot be there and be there at the same time. The life of the citizens, community need to be protected.
It can't work out.
Bring the message of peace. Let there be proper devolution of power from the center. The center is too powerful.
The People, only on Core TV News.